And here we go again, back to the Obra Dinn. Last episode was a bit slower, like we ran out of the things that we could figure out towards the middle of it and ended up having to sort of backtrack through some of the previous memories. We looked through these guys again and think we may have identified one or more of them. And what we're doing now is that we're using a bit of the knowledge it gives us in the glossary to figure out who the rest of the people are. So we know that this guy is a top man. He was on the rigging. Let's see if it'll tell us. See if there's any names in this passage here. So, do you reckon this was the guy who was talking? This guy had an accent. That'll do for now. I'll come back to it. Right, but we know now that you're not the bosun's mate. I don't think. Because you're up here. The bosun's mate wouldn't be up here. I am just guessing at this point. Who else have we got up here? Has anybody seen in memories before? Decapitated by the beast. One of the guys got his head cut off. Let's make some wild guesses. I think that we're at that point now. You can be this one. We don't know what fate you met either. If we don't know what fate they met, there must be more to the story. Like, I feel like there's got to be more because there's so many people we have no clue about them. At least not as far as we know. Like we've been following through the deaths, which means that some of them must have got off the ship, the ones who escaped, and we can't identify where they are unless there is more to this story. So I think I might actually just see if I can leave. So I feel like guessing through this is not going to be advantageous. What a guess. Let's see what the other ones were that were right. Wait, seriously? Hang on. It was that I just... One of the guys that was decapitated, that was one I just literally just put a name in for, wasn't it? Surgeon's mate we got. Yeah, this one was a complete guess. We just put a name down. Okay. However, we didn't get you, because it would have come up as said confirmed. Who do we put for you? And it would have come up earlier, so that's not you. I mean, that's all we know. We got that one was... Yeah, that was the guess the guy jumped down, right? So you could be any of the ones that are left. Unknown. No. Alright, we'll make you Russian then. It did sound like it wasn't a... Like, at least if the accent was the person who was talking. So the fact the guy said we won't be returning, so I kind of don't want to leave in case that's basically me saying that I've figured out as much as I can, which I don't think it is true. I think there's a lot more I can figure out. Like, clearly, just then, I got a few more just by throwing in a few guesses in some good places. Right, where am I going to? It was, the guy that was shot at the start of the weird crab encounter. So this deck was all about the Doom. I didn't actually need to go this way, did I? And then we need to get around the outside. I think we can get through here, can't we? Alright, let's try this again. Now that we sort of know a bit more about what's going on, these things might hold a little bit more detail. So, they're trying to get to the mermaids, which are being kept in the lazarette.
Someone shoot the damn thing!
Right, what was it that killed this guy? That gun's not facing the right way. I don't know if I can get... I think I'm blocked off in this particular memory, because obviously the aesthetic of being able to see it through here is interesting. So what actually killed him? See, I thought he was shot. But if he was shot, who shot him? Ah, there. So whoever that was, I can't identify him at this range, can I? Crap, okay. I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't know if there's any way to... Can I check who was in this memory? Wait. I'll just do it by identifying you. Oh, this is where I was. 7 memories perished in this one. 11 others were present. There's a bald guy that fired the shot. You, maybe? We don't know who you are either, so that doesn't help. We also have no information about how you died. Like, how many of the people on the crew list do we not have information about their deaths? So there's too many blank spaces, I feel, for it to be... Unless more people were dying in scenes that we were supposed to have noticed as we went around. We very much hit a dead end when it comes to... Like, figure out more and more as we go along. But it just feels like this is going to be one of those things that's going to take quite a long time. And how entertaining it is to watch me just fumble about. There were 2 other people... Oh, no, there were more than 2 other people. I've seen you. You're the one who hit him, right? You've been in 15 memories. You disappeared in the Doom. So these are the people where, if they've disappeared, how can I allocate a fate to them? Disappeared isn't an option, isn't it? Is it? Which means I feel like there's definitely more to this. Right, I'm going to try and leave. I think it's got to that point. Yep. Where's the door? There we are. Ah! Let it be known that if the game ends here, it was because I'm an idiot. And I will definitely be coming back and solving all of the rest. I've got recordings, so I can just allocate the ones I know. But let's go and see if I can get on the boat and leave. I mean, I might not even be able to. I might actually have to solve it before we can actually get away from here.
All done? We should go. Storm's nearly about, so we won't be coming back. If you've still business here, climb up and finish it. Else I'll make to port.
I really hope there's an option to load back up if this is the wrong decision. I feel like I may have just made an error, but we'll see.
Finally. Sit down so you don't fall out.
End of game. Percentage complete. 25. Ranking D. Ship, Damage and Squall, Atlantic, Sunken Storm, Falmouth. Payout claim 20 grand. Car company, all cargo lost. Cargo, payout claim 3,000. Captain, suicide. Oh, this is suicide gun, criminal findings, murder of crewmate, estate foster to crown. Great shotgun. Well, I feel like I may have just ended the game. Preliminary draft. Matter clause in its entirety. Now what happens? Oh, 1 year later. So there is more to it. I haven't completely done goofed. Oh, a knock at the door. Can I get out of my chair?
Oh, goodness. What a nice thing. You know, you should be out in it then.
I went mad. Want to get up?
Can you believe a letter at this hour?
Oh.
Must be important. I'll be turning in now. Tea's all gone, so you might think about going to bed as well.
Okay, I guess I'll read my letter. Chief Inspector, I write to you with the unfortunate news that Dr. Evans has passed away. He succumbed to his illness shortly after receiving your package. Although his health was generally poor, receiving the Obra Dinn book in such an incomplete state further I killed a guy by giving up too early! Incomplete state further disheartened him so thoroughly that he was unable to recover. He used his final moments to express the extreme regret he felt with entrusting such a remarkable task to you. Regards, Jane Bird. Wow, really? Abandoned ship. Okay, so I wasn't meant to leave there. I was meant to continue to follow through with the investigation. Well, okay. I guess. Oops. And. I feel a little bit annoyed now. Okay, well, I mean, obviously, I wanted to find out what would happen, and I did. I did assume it may have been the end of the game, but I thought, seeing as there are so many people unidentified that had left, I guess you could have made a guess that the people who'd escaped on the boat, were returning home to where they came from. Maybe there was lost at sea was an option. I'm not 100% sure, but anyone who disappeared during the Doom could have been killed by the Beast. And as I said, it was just a guess all the way through. Like, you just had to sort of figure out, well, if this person disappeared here, they were probably killed by the thing that... And then you can look at other positions of where they were. No, it's a fantastic game, extremely well made. The puzzle elements, obviously, it's very unique in its design compared to other games I've played, and I will almost certainly be either, I guess, restarting or continuing to try and get 100%, because that is a disappointing result, and I want to find out what was in the... I've forgotten the word they said. The underfloor bit, the cargo, where the mermaids were, the bargain. And clearly, I did such a shit job that the Doctor actually died. Like, you can't say that for most things, can you? That it was such a poor job that the doctor literally died. I killed someone by not playing the game properly. Well, we're a little bit over the time for this episode anyway, so definitely not the last one in the series. I want 100% this because I really enjoy puzzle games, and the only reason I left the ship when I did, I would definitely have stayed and looked around a little bit longer, is because I'm recording this and I didn't want the content to be boring. And I was concerned that if all I was doing was walking around trying to figure stuff out, then it wouldn't be interesting to watch. So I will be going back, and I will be making sure that I complete the thing 100%. I'm assuming the game is built with an option to go back. I think that achievement I got abandoned obviously means that I left too early. I don't know if you can like get 50%, you might get a slightly different ending, but by the sound of it, you need a 100% completion, or maybe at least like 75 to get the majority, like to actually find out what the ending is. Thank you for playing. Thank you for making the game. Let's find out what actually happens now. Back to the main menu. Okay, so I think I do have to restart. However, restarting will give me an option to revisit some scenes that I went through initially without understanding the concept or the people involved. And a lot of the names I already know, because obviously I've already done it. So, thank you for joining me for this episode. And you got to see the utter failure as I left the boat too early and failed at my mission, but I will return, and I will discover the fates of every single person aboard the Obra Dinn.